One of the biggest fears is running out of money. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt, we call it the FUD, can affect everybody in today's world. So we're going to talk about income for life, inflation, and opportunities in the tax code on today's show.
And now, the Wealth Training Academy.
You can have wonderful documents, but if they don't work for the assets you have and the income stream that you need, it's a waste of your time and it's a waste of your money.
Asset protection, tax reduction, holistic planning.
You got to make sure that the team's working together, because if the team's not working together, somebody's going to screw up.
Retirement doesn't have to be complicated.
There's so many people selling product. Don't buy product until you have a plan.
And now, the Wealth Training Academy with Ed Storer.
Shielding, protecting, growing your business and your wealth. Welcome. It is the Wealth Training Academy with wealth coach Ed Storer and a great team can get behind your retirement as they have for so many in the upstate and beyond. Ed, greetings to you once again.
Hello, everybody. I hope we're having a great day, and we are here to have some fun and talk about the world as we know it today.
Yeah, I mean, we always have fun and good conversation, and it's all about maybe, clearing the confusion, helping to take the mystery out of retirement planning, and even to allay fears. And the big fear, Ed, it's number one on the countdown of fears, and that is running out of money in retirement.
Yeah, that again, we call that FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And that is definitely one of the biggest issues that people have, without a shadow of a doubt. Mm-hmm. It does not matter your income level. It does not matter how much you've put away. It does not matter who you talk to. There's always that fear until you have a plan in place to figure out what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it, and the income needs that you have. So one of the little things that I think we're going to chit chat about today is we're going to look at our retirement needs and income, and really the idea of how important it is to create a comprehensive retirement plan that accounts and takes into consideration the idea that, you need to first and foremost create a guaranteed income. It was interesting. I was talking to some folks the other day, and they were sharing with me Ed, we can safely pull out 3.5% to 4% of our portfolio. And all I did is say, okay, well, let's look at that, because the financial industry loves to tell lies. And, that always goes back to the world of product. And so they say, okay, let's take all of our money. And I simply just drew a graph up on a board. And I said, okay, you have this much money. You want to pull 4% out of this much money. Mm-hmm. Well, what if that basket drops? What if that total basket you have goes from, and I used a very simple analogy. I said, what if it goes from $500,000 down to basically $400,000? And you need to pull 4% because X equals how much income you need to have come in. Yeah, I know. For those of you who didn't like math in school, this is the X factor. And the X simply just says, okay, how much money do I have guaranteed coming in, and how much do I need to have from other sources to offset the difference? Well, if that is your amount that you need from your total portfolio, and that portfolio goes down, and that was the amount that you were required, then all of a sudden you have to increase your percentage of pull off of the value that you now have in order to get the same amount of income that you need. And how do we know what we need? Well, we have a budget. We put a budget together to figure all this out. But long story short, it's not putting all our eggs in one basket and living off a percentage. It really comes down to making sure that you have different types of guaranteed planning, guaranteed income from multiple sources in order to really take advantage of how to create that guaranteed income, and look at what the best way is on a tax efficient manner, because not all income is taxed the same way. That means your return off that income is entirely different. And you need then combine that with a plan. Once you have that guaranteed income in place and you know it's going to take care of you and your spouse for the rest of your lives for taxes, inflation, and unforeseen medical issues, then you take the rest of the dollars and you build growth off of it. Now, it's kind of crazy. Sometimes we look at different programs and products, and Dave, we've talked about this many times, and people talk about the idea of sometimes using an annuity, and they don't really understand what basically an annuity can do for you. But if you have an old annuity and you're kind of concerned about it, or you want to find out about an annuity without somebody trying to sell all kinds of programs and products and everything else to you, we actually do evaluations on people's current programs. We have a team of tax professionals, investment professionals, insurance professionals, and estate planning professionals. They're all fiduciaries, and they'll sit down, they'll evaluate the whole thing for you. It's called our gap analysis. And if you have $500,000 or more put aside for retirement, they're in investments, in other words, insurance products or investments and so forth. And you're going, man, I really want to figure out what's going on. I really want to know, how's this tool fit within my toolbox to help me build my financial house? My team will evaluate this. We'll look at the whole thing for you. Taxes, investments, insurance, and estate planning. We call it our gap analysis. The gaps that are holding you back from taking you to where you are, taking you from where you are today to where you want to be tomorrow. So give us a call. The team's standing by. And again, if you have $500,000 or more put away for retirement, we'll do our gap analysis for free.
And here is how you schedule the gap analysis. It's a call or a text, either way, to this number. And the number is 800-563-7030. Now, if you text, just text hashtag WTA, 800-563-7030. Going over with Ed ways to help allay the fear of running out of money and getting the right strategies together for your retirement. Where can you find silver lining and higher interest rates? I mean, is there any way we can harness the power of interest rates rising?
Absolutely. And so the beautiful part of taking and looking at guaranteed money, if you would, there's really, and it always comes down to people are like, oh, I've got this, I got this. And it comes down to product. Okay. There's really only 3 products that really guarantee your income: cash, CDs, and fixed annuities. That's it. They're the ones who guarantee your cash. They guarantee your income. Now, there'll be some folks out there that say, well, you can invest in life insurance policies, Ed, and that'll guarantee your income too. Yeah, but you have to really qualify for those. So unless you can qualify for them, they can't really guarantee your income. So I'm just going to push that one off to the side. And usually that's an insurance agent that's having that conversation with us. But here's the interesting thing. With interest rates hiking up, yes, we're all feeling that bite of inflation. We'll talk a little bit about it here. But as interest rates are hiking up, this is an opportunity, if you have old annuities, to have them evaluated, because the new annuities have higher interest rates. So hence you get a better return. Also, laddering out CDs. Now, we have plethora of CDs. It doesn't matter to us where you have your money and everything else. We can shop the country for CDs. We can shop the country for annuities. We can shop the country for high yield money markets. We don't care where the money's at. We care about the planning and putting the product in the plan in order to achieve the income. So as interest rates will hike up, you ladder out some opportunities, you ladder out programs, you ladder out CDs, you ladder out fixed annuities, or you look at the old fixed annuities and you go, that's an old one. I don't need that anymore. It's kind of like when you look in your toolbox and you have a saw and you go to cut some wood and you go, something? That saw isn't as sharp as it used to be. I think I have to go get a new saw. So it's not that the tool is bad, but maybe it's wore out. Maybe you outgrew it and you just need to really kind of leverage opportunity. I mean, there's also bonds, individual bonds. There's opportunities with municipal bonds. But we don't want the mutual fund bonds. We want individual bonds. That way we can, again, control our value. We can control our interest rate. And everybody that we work with really likes the idea of controlling their money.
Where are you on reverse mortgages? It seems like you don't see as much about that anymore.
That is an interesting animal. Now, I will say that I am a reverse mortgage knowledge specialist. Long story short, I took a course just to make sure I understood what it was for our clients. We do not in any way do any kind of reverse mortgages. We have an associate at a bank that does reverse mortgages, that if that is something that you're interested in, we can pass you over there to them. But whoever you talk to about reverse mortgage, make sure that the person that you're communicating to about a reverse mortgage understands them, and they're not just trying to sell the product and program to you. And I'll give you an example. There are many opportunities within the reverse mortgage world that you can actually buy a new house and utilize a reverse mortgage to do that. A lot of people aren't aware of that. Huh. But even the question is, what is a reverse mortgage? Basically, it's utilizing the equity inside your home to take that, pull the money out, and you don't have to make any payments as long as one of you all, and being the people who own the home, are living in that home. No real estate investors, please don't think you can utilize a reverse mortgage in buying real estate, okay? There are rules and regulations that you have to follow inside the reverse mortgage programs. So if you have a piece of rental property, you cannot reverse mortgage a piece of rental property. As far as I know today. Now, you know what's going to happen. My reverse mortgage specialist is going to call me up and go, Ed, you can't say that on the radio because they can't. No, I don't know if you can or not, but let's put it this way. When I went through the program and the classes, just a couple of years ago, you couldn't. So maybe they changed the rules, but I don't think they have. So the reverse mortgage is an interesting animal. I really want you to understand that you need to specialize. But really what it comes down to is understanding really your incomes, understanding your sources. In today's world, there's a lot of worry and fear and uncertainty. But if you do proper planning and you utilize income programs that are guaranteed, and there are many of them out there. We just talked about the idea of reverse mortgages. We talked about CDs. We talked about fixed annuities. We talked about cash. But there's also the idea of maximizing your Social Security. So let's not forget about that guy. And we can figure out all this through our gap analysis for you. So pick up the phone, give us a call. The team is standing by. Let's schedule a 30-minute telephone call, and let's find out what you have that's designed and guaranteed for your income down the road.
To schedule, call or text 800-563-7030. If you text, it's hashtag WTA, 800-563-7030. Ed, what's coming up after the break?
The battle against inflation surges on. I've always wanted to do that, something like that. But, however, we're going to be talking about inflation and issues that Americans are feeling as they are getting beaten up by inflation on their personal income when we come back.
When should I take my Social Security? How much risk can I tolerate? I'm afraid I'm overpaying in taxes. Did I save enough? I can't keep up with all these rules.
There are a lot of components to your retirement, and it certainly can seem overwhelming. It's time to establish a partnership with a professional who can provide you with a written plan, the proper strategies, and then be there with you along the way. That's Ed Storer at the Wealth Training Academy, 800-563-7030, 800-563-7030. Back with the Wealth Training Academy and wealth coach Ed Storer and this fiduciary team, and you've met them on this show if you're a regular listener, in their own areas of expertise, all important components of retirement planning, proper retirement planning, taxes, investments, insurance, estate planning. Be sure to visit the website too and learn more, wealthtrainingacademy.com. Ed, that was your moment to do your movie trailer voice, right? In a world, Yeah, the battle though against inflation. And there's some results, and we can scatter this through the segment. It's spending concerns, saving concerns. A new study by Upgraded points 1,000 Americans from varying demographic and socioeconomic groups were asked questions ranging from their credit card usage, saving, budgeting habits, debt, and more. And the numbers are not really that good.
Yeah, I was actually a little surprised, shocked, and amazed, if you would, when we were looking this up and putting this together that, well, 17% say they're not saving enough to even get by. 17%. That's a lot of people saying they're not putting enough money, just not even aside to get by. 23% of Americans said they're trying to stick to a budget but don't know how and can't succeed. That was interesting also. And then 21% said they don't even have a budget at all. And
surprised that's not higher, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say usually that's a little bit higher, because here's the thing: when it comes to that word budget, and I know if you listened to me for the last couple of years, I've often said I'm never going to say that word budget again. We'll call it the spending plan, but budget's just a bad word. Nobody wants a budget until they need a budget. By the way, nobody wants coaching and advice until they need coaching and advice. They want the results of the coaching and advice, but they don't want the coaching and or advice.
Unsolicited, I guess.
Yeah, that's really it. This really comes down to. But here's the interesting thing. You have a budget. You have a budget. You just may not have decided to look at that budget and put pen to paper to recognize the budget. And if you do that and you actually take advantage of really, paying attention to the numbers and having a plan to help you with that budget, then you'll never be able to get out of, your own way. I hate to say this, and I don't mean to be a big, mean bully today, but there are a lot of things that are going on that we need to put pen to paper to figure out whether or not it's going to move us forward or it's going to hurt us. And sometimes we don't even realize that. I sat down with this beautiful couple just last week, and we used our Wealth Shield system, and they plugged their budget into our Wealth Shield system. And it wasn't that we care what you're spending on your dog food, but it's important to recognize where your money's going. Okay. And they were shocked and amazed that how much money they were spending on all the different movie programs out there.
Oh, yeah.
In other words, Netflix,
streaming,
Amazon, Tubi. I'm not recommending any of these. I'm just naming some. But now there's
nickel and dime you to death.
Oh, yeah. And the funny thing was when they were adding it all up, because they cut their cable cost to have these things.
Maybe they didn't, huh?
Yeah. And then they looked at it, they go, oh my God, we're paying more than we pay for cable.
Oh, man.
Because they still have to have the cable to their house to get these streaming programs. And
well, the internet, yeah.
Yeah, you have to have the internet. So it was interesting. And when we start looking at this and figuring out and putting that budget together, that it was sad to really go, wow, we never looked at this before. And it's not that these people aren't intelligent people. It's not that we're not smart and we're not focused on our money. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything. It's just like the idea you don't poke your spouse in the rib and you go, hey, honey, let's sit down and read our life insurance policy. Nobody does that. Okay. Or, hey, honey, let's whip out our wills and trusts to make sure they're up to date.
That's a fun night.
Yeah, that's a fun night. See, no one does any of this stuff until it hurts. And so I'm trying to take the pain away from it before it hurts by offering you our gap analysis. Our gap analysis will evaluate all this with you. And by the way, this is a planning session where we sit down and have a conversation about what's going on in your world, your taxes, your investments, your insurance, your estate planning. All this needs to be looked at. Your business plan, your basically your team, your football team, as we say. You're the owner, we're the coaches, we coach for you. Your retirement is your business, and it needs to be run like that. And every business has a game plan. So the gap analysis is your game plan to put all this together. It'll evaluate, again, everything that's happening with your budget and so forth. And you might be a little bit surprised when we give you a little bit of a homework assignment to say, go put the budget together. So give us a call. My team's standing by. If you have $500,000 or more, put away for retirement. If you're in the neighborhood of basically 55 and above, between 55, 75 or whatever and above, we'll do this gap analysis, because this is the time you need to take advantage of this. This is really when you need to start looking at this, because the world is changing and inflation is having a major impact. And we just cited some numbers about inflation and how it can affect you. And the gap analysis can help you understand how to put a game plan together so your scoreboard says you're winning. And just pick up the phone and let's schedule a 30-minute phone call.
And you can do that. It's really easy to schedule a call or a text, by the way. 800-563-7030. 800-563-7030. If you text, just text hashtag WTA 800-563-7030. The Lending Club survey or study, that's is this debt? I mean, you can cite the issue here, but is debt causing this, or one cause?
It's very interesting. You know, when we were looking at this, I guess, it's the Lending Club, the information on it. I don't know if it really was a study or a survey. It was more of a survey, really, than it was a study. But 47% of Americans earning more than $100,000 annually said that they're living paycheck to paycheck. And that's up 4% from the prior month.
In a month.
In a month.
4%.
So, and it has everything to do with the idea of inflation, and has everything to do with the idea that, unfortunately, we're seeing people buying bigger homes because interest rates were so low. People turned around and bought bigger homes, more expensive homes, because they could afford it. But the interesting thing and the amazing thing about this is that, you could afford that bigger home. But now with inflation affecting gas prices, heating bills, costs of running and maintaining the home, power, all that has been going up. Oh, by the way, have you ever tried to repair your home lately and buy some lumber or some concrete or some anything? It's all doubled. It's all doubled in price. So just the idea of maintenance in the home has put people and has created a lot of pressure on their own budget. And that's why I said that it's very important to look at your budget and figure it out. This is not about dog food, or how much you're spending, or you shouldn't be spending, or how much you go out to eat, and shame on you for going out to eat. It all goes back to, can we afford to continue the lifestyle that we are at now without dipping into our savings up and beyond the point that we have planned for? The budgeting part of all this is that maybe you haven't planned for that. You haven't looked at that. The other thing is taxes. Now, here's the crazy thing. We all know it's tax season, and people are getting shocked at how much they're owing in taxes from 2022. They're going, I can't believe I owe this much in taxes. I thought our tax bill was supposed to be going down. No, that doesn't happen when you're in the world of retirement. I can count on one hand the the times I've seen people actually reduce their taxes in retirement. And I've been doing this 32 years now. Man, I'm old. I'm getting up there.
I'm older.
But here's the interesting thing is the higher our expenses go, because we have to spend more money to maintain these things, and inflation goes up, that means we have to pull more money out of our retirement accounts that we didn't plan for. And hence, every dollar we pull out increases our taxation of our income, because remember, all that money's been growing tax deferred. So we need to put plans together, and our gap analysis can help you do this. Budgeting, taxes, inflation, estate planning, insurance costs, product costs, all these have to be looked at. And it starts really with a 30-minute phone call to see if we can even help you out. Maybe we can just help you out on the phone. Pick up the phone, give us a call. My team can help you out. If you put $500,000 or more off to the side and you really want to figure out finally what is going on, you need to look at your overall situation, pick up the phone, give us a call. We're here to help.
Gap analysis you can schedule with a call to 800-563-7030, and that limited opportunity at no cost, no obligation, 800-563-7030. Call or text hashtag WTA, 800-563-7030. Ed, what's after the break? What are we into?
To Roth or not to Roth? That is the question. Those will be the answers when we come back.
And now a nightmare retirement consultation.
Yeah, no pain, no gain, right? No risk, no reward, right? We're going all risk, see? We're going to put everything you got in the market. You're going to love it.
Don't walk, run from that office and go to your future retirement partner with your best interest in mind and with a plan that's customized for your risk tolerance and that can help increase your financial confidence in retirement. That's Ed Storr at the Wealth Training Academy. 800-563-7030. 800-563-7030. It's the Wealth Training Academy, and we're back to the conversation with Wealth Coach Ed Storr. The name of the show, the name of the firm here in the Upstate and helping those in the Upstate and beyond in retirement planning. And we mentioned from time to time another thing they do is coaching for businesses right here in the area. Ed and his team getting people suited with the best strategies for them in their retirement. Well, Mr. Ed Shakespeare, that is the question. Well, you know, the one thing you said, to Roth or not to Roth, we'll look at some of the advantages maybe of Roth, adding Roth to your plan. But Secure Act 2.0 did add in some Roth opportunities. What are some of those?
First and foremost, if you are a small business owner, you can now make Roth contributions to simple and SEP IRAs. That, I have to tell you, is probably one of the biggest factors to help the small business owners and their employees more than, really, it more than anything, because as a small business owner, sometimes you don't have a large 401k, or you just simply because of the expenses of the 401k, or maybe you're a sole practitioner. Maybe you own a plumbing company. Maybe you're a doctor. Maybe you're a lawyer, and the company that you have, you had a simple plan or a SEP IRA that you set up for yourself. Well, now you can make some modifications to your documents, and you can add a Roth contribution opportunity with inside those plans. It's not difficult. It does need a little bit of changing, and our team can help you do that, by the way. We can help you figure all this out because, again, we have everybody here: CPAs, enrolled agents, investment people, insurance people, tax people, attorneys, everybody here, tax attorneys, the whole team's here. And business coaching consulting, as we talked about earlier. And this really kind of falls into the business coaching consulting thing as the opportunity to allow this beautiful program for your employees as well as for yourself, because it allows everything to grow tax-free now. Also, the benefits of the 529 plan have huge changes because of the Secure Act. So if you have a 529 plan, you can do different roll-ups into the Roth IRA programs. There's so many different things, and the required minimum distributions are no longer having to be taken on the Roth 401k programs. Again, there's numerous amount of changes that have the Secure Act 2.0 has created, and I really suggest that this is really, really important. If you're a small business owner, or if you have a small business at home, or you've been playing at a small business through your health, or it's a part-time gig, maybe you're a photographer, maybe you're selling your goods and wares on the internet. I don't know whatever you're doing, but you have a small business. Whether you think it's a business or it's not a business, it could be a business that could help you out in tremendous tax savings opportunities that you really take advantage of this and give us a call. Especially if you have $500,000 or more put aside for the retirement accounts and in your retirement accounts, and you're doing a small business on top of you're working a full-time job, or your spouse is doing something. Or maybe your children are doing a small business that you're helping, or they need some consulting on, and you're helping them maybe financially or so forth. There are tons of changes and opportunities for small business owners on this that you really need to pick up the phone, because you have to make sure that the insurance people, the investment people, and the tax people are all sitting down together to pull this off, because one little thing can affect another little thing, especially if you're in the world of distribution and or you're headed down the world of distribution. We literally sit down with business owners every day and show them how to save thousands of dollars in taxes. As a matter of fact, we have what we call our tax shield system, where we'll evaluate and look at all the taxes, and we'll create a tax efficient game plan for you to show you via tax code what opportunities that you can be implementing. And we suggest you take that and you go to your CPA and show it to them. And so here's the tax code. Here's the opportunity. Again, we're not trying to replace your CPA. We're just trying to help you and your CPA help you pay as little as possible in taxes. So there's great opportunities with the Secure Act and Roth. I really want you to take advantage of it and take advantage of the gap. Give us gap analysis. Give us a call on this, because it's so important on the Roth, and we're going to talk more about it. But, pick up the phone. Just pick up the phone and say, Ed, I want that gap analysis.
Yeah, bridging or identifying first the gaps, bridging the gaps, the gap analysis for you to schedule 800-563-7030. You can text as well, 800-563-7030. If you text, just text hashtag WTA. Now, as far as Roth...
Yeah, I'm sorry, David. I jumped all over you. And I said, I really want to talk about the idea of how the opportunities of the withdrawal in the Roth IRA that people don't understand.
Well, that's what I was going to actually. I was going to ask you about is the difference between contributions and earnings.
Yeah. So that word contributions, okay, people unfortunately get confused on this. And we were sitting down with a couple again just last week, and they were actually our current clients, and I was sharing and say, hey, look, you really need to put more money in the Roth, And they go, Ed, I can't put more money into the Roth because I have too much income. And I go, well, first off, the income limit has changed on the Roth contribution. So depending on your income limit, we can help you figure all that out, whether or not you can make a contribution to a Roth IRA, depending on, again, whether you're a small business owner or an individual, okay? So the contribution limits have changed, and we can talk about that when you come in or pick up the telephone, give us a call. We can share with you what those are. But the conversion opportunity, and there's kind of the big issue is that word contribution and the word conversion is very confusing to folks. Just because you make too much income to make a contribution to a Roth does not mean that you can't make a conversion to a Roth and take advantage of some huge opportunities down the road. So there's those two words, conversion and contribution. The other interesting thing that I want to make sure we point out is the ability to take money out of the Roth IRA. Okay. You can take your contributions out of a Roth IRA at any time, even prior to 59.5. It's the income or the earnings off of the growth that you've put into the Roth IRA you cannot take out until age 59.5. Or there's other different ways you can take it out. However, but let's just use the 59.5 rule. And so if you made a $2,000 contribution, you can pull that out. If you're catch up and everything else like that, you're putting $7,000, whatever the contribution amount that you've made into a Roth IRA, you can pull that out prior to age 59.5. Now, that doesn't, I want to make sure we're aware of this. That doesn't then change the amount that you can put back in. So if you've put in the max for the year that you're allowed to put in, and you take that contribution out, you can't turn around and put that contribution back in from the amount that you took out, because it's a one-way in. It's not one way out. Okay. It doesn't reduce the amount that you made the contribution to, because that's very important. And again, that's why you want to make sure your tax professional is working with your investment professional, and you don't want to just try to pull this off yourself. Okay. The other beautiful part about a Roth is you can really utilize this for higher education purposes and for new home purchase. And I'll talk about that in just a second. But for higher education purposes, there's nothing better than a Roth IRA. It's just opportunity there all over the place. Yes, the 529 plan still allows you to put money into a Roth IRA and so on and so forth. But if you've maxed out everything and you still want to help out the grandkids, or you have kids that are still in college and you still want to help them out, or the kids themselves want to put money away from themselves, man, that's a really good kid. You raised them well. So, but you can put the money in there, and the dollars that you put in for the Roth can be utilized for higher education purposes. It's a great way to fund education tax-free. Then when they do the FAFSA on you, because they'll be doing the FAFSA, the dollars in the Roth IRA are not calculated in the FAFSA because it's retirement accounts. So again, you need to make sure you work with your tax professional who understands FAFSA. You need to make sure you work with your investment person who understands FAFSA. And you need to make sure that, heaven forbid, something happens to you, that your estate planning attorney understands FAFSA, because maybe you've structured ways to take advantage of putting money away for your kids utilizing the Roth. Roth is a great, great account, and it can be beneficial to everybody. I highly suggest that you even look at the idea of a Roth IRA for opportunities of a new home, because you can purchase a new home utilizing the Roth IRA. And you go, Ed, I purchased a home when I was in my 20s. I'm now in my 60s. Yeah, well, maybe you've done what some other people have done, is sold their home, decided to travel around or something else like that, lived in an RV. I don't know what the heck you did. And as long as you haven't lived in a new home for 2 years, you now qualify for a new home purchase again. And again, you need to make sure your CPA and your loan officer understands all that too. It all starts with the gap analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Pick up the phone. There's so many moving parts with taxes, investments, insurance, and estate planning when you get into the world of distribution, or you're 5 to 10 years out from that you need to have a game plan. Product you probably already own. Game plan needs to be put together for you. And no one wins a game without a game plan. You don't see any of the head coaches out there doing anything but running and looking at their game plan. You need to have one too. So pick up the phone, give us a call.
The number to call, 800-563-7030, 800-563-7030, which you can also text, hashtag WTA, 800-563-7030. Well, it's the way you close the show out every week.
We are going to be answering questions from listeners from our podcast when we come right back.
You drive through this to get to this. really want to be here. And there's someone who can get you to your destination, retirement where you want to be, instead of here or here. And that someone is Ed Storr at the Wealth Training Academy. 800-563-7030. 800-563-7030. Back with the Wealth Training Academy. And, Ed closes the show out and has for years now with answering listener questions. And that's listeners here on the radio and also listeners in podcast land. By the way, if you'd like to access the podcast, hear it, scroll through the menu, past shows, the easiest way, it's anywhere you download your podcast, but also at wealthtrainingacademy.com. If you want to submit a question to Ed to answer on the air, wealthtrainingacademy.com. Same thing, same website. Any tab you click on, it allows you to do that. And we do have podcast listeners. Ed is answering their questions today. We're going to start with one from Marietta, Georgia. And I like this question, Ed. It's here's what they're saying. Truly enjoy the show each week, which is why I wanted to share with you guys. I am retiring in 12 days. Now, other than sleep in, which I'm much looking forward to, any suggestions of what to do with my first day of retirement?
Wow. First off, congratulations. That is awesome that you're retiring. And remember, our days of retirement are not like retirement from grandma and grandpa day. You're probably retiring to go do something else. So with that being said, go have lunch by yourself that does not involve your coworkers.
Okay. No small talk at lunch, huh?
That's right. So that would be an interesting
shop talk,
thing.
I should say.
Yeah, no shop talk. Don't talk about the gossip of this, that, and the other stuff.
Did you see what she was wearing today?
What's the first day you do with the rest of your life? What is that? You call somebody that you've not called in a long time and go lunch with them, I guess. I don't know. That's what I would put.
There you go.
But again, congratulations. That's awesome. And thank you for being a continuous listener. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm excited for her. Congratulations. Enjoy. Next is from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm asking a question on my parents' behalf. My father is approaching his full retirement age. I recently learned that his entire portfolio, $2.5 million, is tied up in a single stock, which happens to belong to the same company that he's worked for since the late 90s. Now, in the bull market, his retirement flew above $3 million, and he thought he was set, so he didn't protect or move any of it. However, it has taken a significant hit in this bear market, which has come at a really inconvenient time. Any suggestions on how to handle this situation?
Sure, it's your father.
Right. I'm asking for a friend.
I'm asking for a friend. Okay. Would you like to date him? No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
By the way, you gotta laugh and have fun in life. Life's too short. If
right.
Don't get me wrong. I won't be with our Lord, but not too soon.
Oh, yeah. Now, what is that country song?
Yeah.
I'll have to pull up. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, you have
close
to do
what
some
you just
research.
said.
Yeah. However, okay, so you're asking on behalf of your father who's full retirement age. Yeah, I don't know how old they are, but let's just call it 66 and 6 months, okay, because that's kind of an average. And they have the dollars all in one stock. Any suggestions? Oh, yes, I do have so many suggestions. It's not funny. First off, this is a person who, have you ever heard of Enron? Just saying, have you ever heard of Enron? I'm not going to pick on a company here in Greenville, but a lot of people know it, and those people who work there bleed blue. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm leaving it at that. And if they work there, they know who I'm talking about. And they put all their money into the company stocks and so forth. Look, if I can make a suggestion in any way, shape, or form for those who put their money into company stocks, rethink that, okay? Because you're working there. Have you ever heard of a little thing called diversification? And it's very important that, okay, if you're earning a living from somewhere, that you all of a sudden you don't put all your money in that same place that you're earning the living from, because it can turn around, just like this gentleman is saying, it can turn around and make a significant difference in your world, which is why asset allocation and diversification is so important. Hence my suggestion to this person is asset allocation and diversification. The other thing is, now that this person has reached or your father has reached full retirement age, we have to think about Social Security, and we have to also start thinking about Medicare, and we also have to start thinking about taxation on this, because now it's 73 for full for required minimum distribution, and I'm willing to bet by the time they get to required minimum distribution, it's going to be 75. Again, not knowing exactly what the full retirement age is that this person is. So you need there needs to be a lot of conversation about taxation here. And then there's a lot of conversation about estate planning that needs to be taken into consideration. There's also another neat little tax opportunity here where you could potentially pull the company stock out of the retirement account and pay the taxes based on cost basis of the stock. Now, I want to let you know that there is a lot of tricks there, but it can save a tremendous amount of money in taxes. So if you've got company stock that's sitting in a 401k and a retirement account, there are opportunities of cost basis withdrawals from your 401k that you don't want to move into an IRA. And that's where your tax attorneys and CPAs and investment people all have got to sit down. Plus, because of because of Medicare costs, you want to make sure your income stays under a certain limit also. So this is a gap analysis all the way. Looking at the gaps, the taxes, the investments, the insurance, the estate plan, everything needs to be looked at for this person. And also that you've lost so much money in this market because it's in one particular stock. You remember we talked about the idea of creating a guaranteed income first and foremost. I don't know if this person has a pension, but they should. So let's create a pension for them. Give us a call. If this is any kind of situation, if you have $500,000 or more put away for retirement, if you have company stock, if you're trying to figure out a way to reduce your taxes, increase your income, reduce your risk, get rid of all the expenses and fees and commissions that you're paying inside these products, and give us a call. We'll sit down. We'll talk to you about it.
And that number is 800-563-7030, 800-563-7030. That song, it was Kenny Chesney. The line in it is everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to go now. I just couldn't think of the name of it then. We're doing podcast listener questions here. Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Over the years, I amassed a few traditional 401ks from 3 previous employers in 401k accounts, and I'm in my mid-50s trying to figure out if I can consolidate them easily, or what is the best way of going about this. Any advice?
Well, first off, it's not easily done because here is a little thing that, again, we have to take into consideration. Being that you're in your mid-50s, you have 3 or 4 previous 401ks. Maybe you're contributing to a current 401k. And maybe you will want to have access to those dollars. Heaven forbid something happens. Again, because I don't know everything about what's going on in this situation. But if you take all your 401k dollars and you roll them into an individual IRA, and for some reason you need to access those dollars prior to age 59.5 because you need them, because you got laid off or something of that nature, you can't access them without a penalty. But sometimes within the 401k world, or you can access those dollars prior to age 59.5 without penalty. And it's an opportunity because it's a rule within the 401k. So I wouldn't suggest combining all those 401ks. But again, everybody's different, and I want to make sure that I'm not just giving blanket advice to to this particular person, because here's the other thing. This might be a tax opportunity where you can do some conversions from traditional to Roth. This could be opportunities that you could be doing some estate planning. Maybe you have significant amount of money in these retirement accounts and you want to set up charitable opportunities to give money to your charity, take a huge tax deduction, convert to a Roth, and then take the money back out tax-free 7, 10, 15 years down the road, or to your heirs tax-free. Again, so that involves estate planning. There's so many opportunities when we get into the world of distribution and opportunities within the tax code. Remember, there's 77 some odd thousand pages of tax code. There's over 100 and some odd different ways to file for Social Security. There's too much income coming in that's taxable that throws you into higher insurance costs. There's so many different things that we have to look at it all. It's just not a simple answer anymore when you get into the world of distribution. If you're between like 20 and 55 and you're putting money away and you're accumulating dollars, we're not the firm for you. We help those who want us to coach them on reducing taxes. We help those who want to reduce hidden fees and commission. We work with those who say, you know something, I want to pass on as much as possible to my children and heirs. We work with those who say, I don't want my children and heirs get taxed based on all the money I'm sending them. This is a gap analysis all the way. And if you have $500,000 or more put away for retirement and you're looking for somebody to help you do planning, give us a call. My team's standing by. We're here to help. We really are. We're planners. We have product. Everybody has product. But the plan needs to be done first. So give us a call.
And that number to schedule with Ed and the team, 800-563-7030. Call or text hashtag WTA, 800-563-7030. Yeah, there's so much you can do, and keep up with upcoming events and workshops at the website wealthtrainingacademy.com. Be sure to visit that. And do check out the podcast as we devoted questions to podcast listeners today. And thank you so much for listening wherever you are, and another great show.
We are the Wealth Training Academy. We are here to help you shield, protect, grow your business and your wealth. Until next week.
The Wealth Training Academy LLC is a marketing and training facility designed to help business owners as well as pre- and post-retirees regain control of their business and personal wealth. Wealth Training Academy also rents the facility out to other organizations and the utilization of its materials. Wealth Training Academy's tax division utilizes the Tax Advisory Group LLC, which is an independent tax reduction planning and preparation firm. Wealth Training Academy's investment division utilizes Idle Hill Advisors LLC, which is an SEC-registered investment advisor firm. Certain appropriately licensed individuals are registered to offer investments through Idle Hill Advisors LLC. They are not affiliated with any entities listed herein. They also do not offer tax, legal, or insurance advice. Past performance is no indication of future results. All investment carries an inherent risk and may not be suitable for everyone. Wealth Training Academy's insurance division utilizes Insurance Made Easy LLC, which is an independent insurance firm. Certain individuals are licensed to offer insurance through Insurance Made Easy LLC. Wealth Training Academy's estate planning division utilizes Essential Estate Planning. With our attorney groups, they can help assist with various legal matters. Wealth Training Academy's business division utilizes Maximizing Value LLC, which is an independent coaching and consulting firm. The opinions expressed in this commentary are those of the author and may not necessarily reflect those held by Wealth Training Academy or any of its divisions. This is for general information only and is not intended to provide specific tax, investment, insurance, or legal advice or recommendation for any business or individual. It is suggested that you consult your financial professional, attorney, or tax advisor with regard to your individual situation. Comments concerning past performance are not intended to be forward-looking and should not be viewed as an indication of future results.